Manchester for another busy night of boxing. Jack Catterall headlines a packed show later on DAZN when he comes up against unbeaten Harlem Eubank. That all kicks off at 7 p.m, but before then, 4 fights here on the prelims, which features some of the best unbeaten local talent, as well as a former world champion, Sky Nicholson, who drops down to super bantamweight as she looks to become a two-weight world champion.
Once again, ladies and gentlemen, it's an absolute pleasure to welcome everybody here to Manchester, England. We are live on DAZN for a big night of world-class professional boxing. It's all being brought to you courtesy of Mr. Eddie Hearn of Matchroom Boxing. We're sponsored tonight by Betfred, Drip, Riyadh Season, That Prize Guy, Tom Insurance, Victory Live, and Everlast. This first contest is in association with Wasserman Boxing, and it's sanctioned under the auspices of the British Boxing Board of Control. The steward in charge is Suzanne Potts. Introducing your third man in the ring at the sound of the bell, from Fleetwood, scoring A-star referee, Mr. Steve Gray. And now, ladies and gentlemen, 6 rounds of boxing scheduled in the super middleweight division. Introducing first, fighting out of the red corner, he wears camouflage trunks. He scaled 12 stone, 6 ounces. Professional record, 14 victories, 6 defeats, with 10 wins coming by way of knockout. He fights out of Frankfurt, Germany. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the gorilla, Victor Ionascu. And his opponent across the ring, fighting out of the blue corner. He wears the white with the Jamaican colors of white, yellow, and green trim. He's scaled 12 stone, 3 pounds, 4 ounces. His professional record, perfect. 15 fights. 15 victories, with 5 of them coming by way of knockout. Fighting out of Stockport, Cheshire, please welcome Niall the Power Brown.
Okay, boys, if a call break, I expect you to take a step back. Don't deliberately throw punches on the back of the head. Protect yourselves at all times. Touch gloves. Good luck, lads.
Second down, round 1.
But certainly this fight in general, Brown's a bit of a talent.
Yeah, he is. 15-0. 5 of those by stoppage, and I spoke to him at yesterday's weigh-in. He's got the bit between his teeth, really wants to put in a good performance and desperate to fight for titles, ideally next time out. Victor Ionascu, 30-year-old.
What I like already,
sorry, Shannon.
Sorry, what I like already is Niall's already taken his head off the line, so nothing can come back.
Yeah, good head movement, slipping on the outside, coming back inside, looking nice and composed, Barry.
Do you know what he does very well, and you don't see it very often anymore? He uses his forearms to block shots. He doesn't just put his hands up. You'll see that the arms actually moving to block the shots. So see it there then. So he's being aggressive. He's moving his head, as Shannon said, but also he's using the gloves and the forearms to sort of parry the shots away, to slide forward and put pressure on his opponent. He's always looking to be aggressive.
Just poking out that jab, Ionascu. Chin's coming a little high. We've already seen Noel Brown throw that right hand as he does there. Very accurate with the shot. This is good work.
The jab to the body there as well. That was good. That last little movement there, just to take the emphasis away from the head.
Oh, a lovely double left hook. There's that right hand just missing with the shot on that occasion. But looking nice and relaxed, Shannon.
Yeah, for sure. I did see that he stopped a guy called Patrick Viola with a right hand, and he's already established that right hand. So he calls himself the power as well. So we'll see if he gets that stoppage with that right hand.
Yeah, we'll keep an eye out on that one. Speaking to Pat Barrett, trainer, I asked him how far do you think Noel Brown can go, and he says honestly all the way. Work effort, he's learning all the time. He comes from a Muay Thai background. Really says he's served his apprenticeship and getting about his work really, really well here.
And one, his work ethic, but in the ring, he's busy. You see, he's busy. He's not rushing any of his work. He's always looking to be busy all the time. He's always giving you something to think about, always a problem. And with that, stealing your space and pushing you back.
Yeah, really good variation again. Just finding the home for 2 left uppercuts. Oh, a nice left hook there. He needs to keep that right hand tucked up, Ionescu.
As you said that, Ionescu lifts that chin up, but also sort of drops his hands and also widens the gap between each glove, which gives you an opportunity to pick your target quite comfortable.
Yeah, Ionescu. Oh, there's a left hook there. Bundles Ionescu to the canvas. He takes a knee. There's that power from Noel Brown. It looks a little unsteady, Ionescu. And saved by the bell Barry.
Do you know what? I don't think there was power in that shot. That was just really good timing and technique. He's walking onto the shot, just leaning back with that left hook and just caught it clean.
Hello, darlings. Aunt Helga. Futuristic scooters, old school website. Relax, web upgrades, Ionze. Better design, e-commerce and smart AI. Now you're fit for the future. I scoot off now. Your digital partner, Ionos.
Round 2.
See that beautiful left hook that landed at the end of that first round. As you said, Barry, loads of power, just accurate with the shot. Credit to Ionescu here, poking out the jab, but again, that chin dangerously high.
And that's where Noel Brown, if he just jabs up and jabs down and he bends his legs, he can literally, he got a free shot with that right hand, which means he can afford to lift the elbow up and bring it right over the top, bowl it over.
I think it's important as well that the fact Niall's not come out rushing to get that stoppage as well. He had him hurt in that previous round.
Good point, Dad. Nice and composed, isn't it?
Yeah, going about his work really, really well here. Just stalking his man, good footwork, good head movement, tucking up nicely. Ionescu does have 6 losses on his record, but does come from good company. 63 wins, 2 losses and 2 draws is the combined record. He's coming off 2 stoppage wins as well, both in April, but this is good work from Brown, doubling up the left hook. Very, very good variation shown from the man from Stockport.
Again, the concentration all the time. Again, let's see the way he moves that head, but also the arms and the shoulders working with it as well. The block shots coming forward.
I'll tell you what he doesn't have. He doesn't have that typical sort of Muay Thai kickboxing sort of style. He looks like a conventional boxer. You know, sometimes, I don't know if you know what I mean, these kickboxers that turn professional, they're quite upright and they flare their elbows out a little. He looks more your conventional boxer to me, Brown.
Yeah, no, it's very good. I come from a kickboxing background, so I totally understand what you're saying there, where they've got the chins in the air or they're jumping up and down. But I love the fact that Niall's very composed in his work.
Switching to southpaw, just getting his left foot across to try and find that left hook again, Barry.
You've got to just start bringing it through the middle now, though. I mean, his shot selection is pretty good. He's picking the right shot for the right time, but there is a gap through the middle. When he throws that right hand over the top, rather than left hook, dip the shoulder, bring the left hook through, the left uppercut through the middle.
Nice little uppercut from Ionescu there. Just through the guard of Noel Brown. Noel Brown said he's been sparring with unbeaten Carl Davies for this one, 10-0 fighter. Good preparation and really enjoying his work at the minute. Right to the body, followed by a left hook upstairs.
Just good for the shoulder there from Brown.
Nice spin off as well from Noel Brown there. Just pinning Ionescu back on the ropes. Moldovan just creeping forward. Now based in Germany, Ionescu. Another good round from Noel Brown here at the A Arena in Manchester. There he is, Pat Barrett, the intimidating figure that is Barrett. Very good fighter he was, and a very good coach.
I'm scared of anybody,
Barry Jones. Into the third round we go. Anything you'd like?
Look at me scared of mice, isn't it? Barry Jones and mice.
Anything you'd want to see from Brown? As good as he's been, Shannon?
I just think so far the shot selection, the variation has been superb. So I'm really liking what I'm seeing at the moment.
Yeah, boxing nicely.
I think he can be a little bit more adventurous now. I think he's got it where he wants to, and keeping the shape's very important, and he's been really controlled. But I do think he can wing away a bomb now and again.
Yeah, he's showing his levels here. I think you mentioned it as well, with that right hand over the top, he can really turn into that shot. The jab of Ionescu is lazy. The chin, as we've mentioned numerous times, is high. He says it's a dream of his would be to fight Stockport County Football Club. He's got high expectations of himself, wants to achieve big things in this sport, and that's good work to the body.
Yeah, lovely body work.
Composure, very, very good from Brown.
Team was really good. The constant pressure with the feet, even when he's not throwing it, he's always a menacing figure in front of you, and that tires you out. Even without the work ethic, just the walking forward, putting the shadow, making you panic.
Has been stopped a couple of times, Ionescu, but as I said again, against good fighters. So he's going to have to work for the stoppage, Brown, but starting to up the tempo a little bit here. Oh, that's a good right hand, just leaning back on the shot, Ionescu.
Left eye of Brown there, just a little swelling underneath it. So whether that was the inside of his glove when he's blocked the shot or something.
I'm from the same gym as Robin Reed did, Noel Brown. I'm just looking around me here as well in this arena, the O Arena. And it started to take their seats here, which promises to be a cracking main event. It does. Jack Catterall, Harlem Eubank.
That Boston gym with Brian Hughes, absolutely brilliant team. Just superb. So you always knew you were going to get a well-schooled fighter.
Nice jab to the body. Good work. He's boxing nicely. Brownie really is. Opting to stand in between rounds, Noel Brown. Have a look at these highlights. Shannon, impressed?
I'm very impressed. I've seen him box once before, but I've loved what I'm seeing, and I think he's going to go really far in the sport.
Yeah, it's good. I mean, we're always looking for things, aren't we? So this be a bit critical. I mean, I think he's let him off the hook a little bit. But, no, I mean, I like the way he keeps control and hasn't taken any silly risks. But I do think it's been a fight here that he probably could afford, you know, to be a little more adventurous, like I mentioned earlier. So he's not. I don't think Brown's a big puncher. He's a correct puncher, and he pressures you with volume.
10 seconds.
But I think if he let a few bombs go with that foot pressure as well that he's showing, I think Ionescu will cave in.
Round 4.
But into the second half of this fight, will we see, as Barry called them, some big bombs detonated from Noel Brown, perhaps a change in pace. So far, as Shannon has pointed out, boxing really, really well.
I think Niall could add a few more feints, just kind of surprise Victor with what he's going to do next.
Trying to walk him onto the shot there, isn't he? That little jabbing and take a little step back.
Yeah, that was good work from Brown, just missing with a heavy right hand there, but the right idea. Credit to Ionescu coming forward, looking to force the pace himself. But again, that chin's high, Barry.
That's what I was going to say, because he has his chin so high, you've got to be pushing him back. But the guy who puts his chin high, especially when he throws a shot, and the way he throws his shot's a little bit laboured, so if you push him back, you know when he throws, that chin's going to come up, he's going to be off balance because he's leaning back, then you dip and swing.
Yeah, leaning back on the shots, as you say, and see Brown perhaps bring his feet in, take a double step. Look for that right hand, but showing us defensive skills on the back foot, just blocking that left hook. Ionescu.
Good uppercut there from Brown.
Yeah, he took a step back there, didn't he, Ionescu?
I think he's enjoying this though, Brown, isn't he? He's had a few hard fights already in his career. This is not one of them. And you can see he's enjoying it.
Yeah, as I said, Pat Barrett was saying to me yesterday, he feels he's served his apprenticeship. He's been on those small halls, as I mentioned, and he's had some tough fights and feels he's ready now to be let off the leash. Challenge for some sort of titles. He's hungry and determined. Nice work, Shannon, behind that lead hand, doubling up the jab, head and body.
Yeah, it's really good body work as well.
Right idea though, it's the right idea.
Just managed to take the sting out of that shot, didn't he, Ionescu? Just sort of leant back on it.
Come back with a long left hook then.
He seems to unravel, doesn't he, Ionescu? As soon as he starts letting the punches go in bunches, you see there the head rocking back. Ionescu is tucking up well there though, but again the chin comes higher. Nice little step to the right hand side, throwing the left hook. That was good though from Ionescu, intelligent, spinning Brown back onto the ropes.
Yeah, good uppercut as well.
Oh, and down goes Ionescu again. Good work. Backed onto the ropes was Brown, and he's not going to make this count, Ionescu. Oh, but he's up on 9. And he bravely gets to his feet. And again, right at the end of the round, but he sniffs victory here, Brown, and he's getting to work. Really letting the shots go. Will he survive this round? The bell goes, he does, but that's another terrific round from Noel Brown. Heavy onslaught of shots, Barry.
Lovely. The finish there at the end of the round, he just couldn't get a clean shot on target. Referee Steve Berry looking to step in, but no clean shot managed. That's good refereeing. But the shot, the left hook that hurt him, then the uppercut that helped him on his way. That was good work there from Brown.
Impressive stuff, Shannon.
Yeah, really good. I think this next round he'll try and go to the body again and get him out of there.
I think he should go for it now. I mean, he's got him hurt. He's right at the end.
Oh, it's been waved off, Barry, as you say that. The corner of Victor Ionescu have seen enough, and you have to say the way that he's got the job done there in that round, very, very impressive from Noel Brown. He moves to 16-0, gets his 6th stoppage, and will he get his request of fighting for a title next?
I think he's a sellable product. I think he's a good-looking kid. I think he talks quite well if you have a little chat with him. He sells tickets. It's really early. There's already a lot of people in here already tonight. And he's good to watch, but there's a little bit of vulnerability about him as well. He's technically quite good, but if you were to fight at British level, like title level, you're thinking, I can get to him. I could do stuff with him. But I think he's a hard man to beat. So I think he's a sellable product. and a really good addition to that British super middleweight team.
You can see Mr. Sauerland sat ringside next to Eddie Hernan. He aligns with the desires of Niall Brown to fight for a title next. I think they're ready also to let him off the leash. And wins like that, they do you a favour. Yeah, very impressive performance. Pat Barrett and the rest of the team will be thrilled with their man, no doubt.
And Darren, he had his last fight, he had a really good win against a fellow called Matt McCallum, who's not Mike McCallum, Matt McCallum, but who's a really, really tough, hard fighter, and he did a really good job. And tonight, he had everything his own way. Did that left the curtain, the uppercut there, that's a bit of a one there, he panicked there, Ayaska looking for the floor. But this shot here, the left hook did the damage originally, but that shot there, already under pressure, yeah, he didn't want any more. And he would have went out there in the next round, Shannon, and got the stoppage, I'm sure.
Yeah, no, very, very impressive, Niall Brown. Very good performance, composed, very composed performance.
What was good there as well, as you were calling for, Barry, you know, like a heavy shot or a change of pace, just when it started to slow down a little bit, he responded. He did what he had to do. He was coasting, and he could have coasted the remainder of the fight. He didn't. He wanted to get the job done. He's
a tall guy who could probably box more, but he's a pressure fighter. That's what he is. He doesn't have loads of power, I don't think, but he's a pressure fighter who's very economically good, so he doesn't rush his work, and that's a hard man to beat. I tell you what, he's got a future.
Yeah. Well, let's throw it back to our MC, Mr. David Diamante.
Ladies and gentlemen, referee Steve Gray accepts the red corner's retirement at the end of round number 4, declaring your winner by TKO, a still undefeated Niall the Power Brown.
Yeah, moves to 16-0, Niall Brown in very impressive fashion. They're getting the job done, stopping Victor Ionescu. And will he get his dream of fighting for a title next time out? Smiles all round, MC David Diamante, and yeah, bright future in front of this man. As I say, starting to take their seats here at the AO Arena. Famous arena here in the heart of Manchester. So many great fighters have fought here, including myself in the Commonwealth Games. I never mention it.
Oh.
But we are ready. Sorry, Barry. I'd love to talk more about myself, but let's hand back over to Mr. David Diamante.
Ladies and gentlemen, from Manchester, England, live on DAZN, the action continues with a special super bantamweight attraction. Now entering the arena, please welcome Carla La Princesa Gonzalez.
And here is the big punch-in, Carla Gonzalez, the Bolivian 24-year-old. 9 wins, 3 losses, but 8 of those 9 wins have come by stoppage, and she's enjoying herself in this ring walk, Shannon.
Yeah, do you know what? They always say a happy fighter is a dangerous fighter, but yeah, I'm really looking forward to this one. Obviously, Sky come off of that loss, but she looks really happy in herself, and she looks good and ready to go.
And now entering the arena, Sky Nicholson.
And here is former world champion Sky Nicholson, down a weight now. It's a new challenge, super bantamweight is that challenge. And the dream now to be a 2-weight world champion. Like what I've been hearing this week, very determined, hasn't let that loss bother her too much, knows what she has to do right with the skill team, work ethic. There's no reason why she can't go on and fulfill that dream.
Ladies and gentlemen, from Manchester, England, live on DAZN, we are set to go with our next bout of the evening, and it's all being brought to you courtesy of Mr. Eddie Hearn of Matchroom Boxing. We're sponsored tonight by Betfred, Drip, That Prize Guy, Tom Insurance, Riyadh Season, Victory Live, and Everlast. Introducing your third person in the ring at the sound of the bell, from Barry, scoring A-star referee, Mr. John Latham. And now, ladies and gentlemen, 8 rounds of boxing scheduled in the super bantamweight division. Introducing first, fighting out of the red corner, she wears the white with the gold trim. She scaled 8 stone 10 pounds 7 ounces. Her professional record, 9 wins against 3 defeats. 8 of her 9 wins coming by way of knockout. She fights out of Santa Cruz de la Sierra, Bolivia. Please welcome Carla La Princesa Gonzalez. And her opponent across the ring, fighting out of the blue corner. She wears the black trunks, and she scaled at already 8 stone 11 pounds 9 ounces. Professional record, 12 victories. Only 1 defeat, with 1 win coming by way of knockout. Fighting out of Queensland, Australia, here is the 2020 Olympian and the former WBC featherweight champion of the world, Sky Nicholson.
Right, ladies, you'll expect from you both, you will obey the instructions at all times. When I tell you to break, you both break lane. Defend yourselves at all times, and the best luck to you both. Touch gloves.
Well, the new chapter begins tonight for Sky Nicholson, down a weight to super bantamweight after that loss to Tiara Brown last time out.
Go on.
Shannon, I'll come to you first. What did you make of the decision to drop down a weight?
Yeah, I find Sky coming down in weight, what's the word that I'm looking for? Like the right thing to do, because I think with the female divisions, you can go up and down. So yeah, there's some good girls in that division as well. There's Ellie Scottney, Ramla Ali, Erica Cruz. So there's some big fights to be made as well.
And we were saying, Barry, wasn't we, earlier today, she could be a real handful at super bantamweight.
Yeah, and she looks in good shape. I don't think it looked like it was a massive struggle for her to make the weight. She looked healthier than scale. So if it isn't a problem making the weight, then I think, with her reach and the way she fights, and I think, if she feels like she's a bigger again, then she might be, as she's showing here, a little bit more assertive with her work, a little bit more aggressive. I'm not sure whether that'll take away what made her world champion, what made her good was being elusive and sticking to what she was good at. But if she can add a bit of more authority to her game, that only makes her a better fighter.
They've done the right thing as well, just a couple of pounds over the super bantamweight division, just to test the water, see how you feel. And I tell you what, she looks big in there. She looks aggressive. She looks really focused. And speaking to her in the week and hearing her talk to the media, she feels a relief of pressure, if you like. That O's gone, and she can go about her work now and start to prove people wrong. And one thing we know for sure, she's a very good boxer, which she's just demonstrated there, Barry.
Picking her shots really well, and from range as well, and still being aggressive with it. That's good.
She's already punching with intent. It's really good to see. Lovely hand, right hand.
Yeah, that was a lovely shot from Sky Nicholson. As you say, Shannon really turning through the shots, through the target, looking aggressive and extremely spiteful here in this opening round at the AO Arena in Manchester.
She can't miss it with that left hand, does she? Everything she throws it lands clean.
What a team she's
10
got,
seconds.
Sky. You can see Eddie Lamb, Bradley Skeet, Kerry Cades. I can see Al Smith sat at ringside.
Take it up.
Caitlin Bennett, Eddie Hearn,
2.
and the rest of the crew. But that was a very good opening round from Sky Nicholson. Really got about her work well. Looking really spiteful.
Yeah, different look to her, wasn't it? It was good. It was good to see. And I think, now she has been a world champion, and she knows more what she's about. Then she'll know she's up against someone who's not at her level. That's I think doing your research, you would have seen that, but clearly already you can notice that. So she's come up with authority, to stamp of authority, and say, listen, this is what I am, and you're nowhere near where I am.
I'm sure she'll have her sights set on the big fight that's happening on Friday between IBO and WBO. Champion Ellie Scotney fighting Mexican Yamileth Mercado, the WBC champ. It's on the undercard of Serrano Taylor. That's a lovely left hand.
I really like how Sky's putting her punches together now.
Yeah, she is really turning through the shots. And you see there again, Barry, the know-how, the ring IQ, the defensive skills. She just takes half a step back, avoids the shots, and she's straight back in your face again.
But I think what Shannon said is not putting her punches, the way she's putting her punches together, because she's staying through with it, but making sure the last one's the hard shot.
Yeah, the speed and the accuracy.
Smoothness, isn't it?
Yeah.
And she's
Oh,
being
it's
patient.
a lovely left hand. The referee's having a look and jumps in. That's a fantastic stoppage. And look at the swagger from Sky Nicholson. What a win, Shannon Ryan.
Yeah, that was lovely, and I liked how she was, like I said, putting her punches together, punching with intent, and she was very composed and patient.
And what's really impressive, all those combinations, she's never getting that front foot too close to allow the other girl to hold, fire back. She got the range. All the power's on the end. People think all the power, you got to get close. The power's on the end of your punches. You're turning your body into the shots like she is. You see it there? You punch long, you punch correct, you punch neat, and you hit the target clean. And that's what she did. I mean, that was a really good display. And also, to announce yourself in the new weight division, regardless of who you're fighting against, to be dominant like that and show a different side of your game or what people have seen before, they will take notice for sure.
Yeah, that was very, very impressive. And you can see all in the day's work for Sky Nicholson, just letting people know, don't be sleeping on me. I'm as hungry as ever. Smiles all round, Sky and the team. Carla Gonzalez still on the stool.
Ladies and gentlemen, referee John Latham calls a halt to this contest. The official time of the stoppage, 1 minute, 21 seconds of round number 2. Declaring your winner by TKO, Sky Nicholson.
Yep, she gets the 13th win of her career. Sky Nicholson. She'll be looking to get into some big, big fights very soon. Back to challenging for titles. And of course, winning them in this new division. Looks strong. As I say, only a couple of pounds over the super bantamweight division. She looked fresh, she looked healthy on the scale. So to me, looks as if she could lose those 2 pounds relatively easy. And with a performance like that, this team with her, there's no reason why she can't go on and challenge for these big fights. Ellie Scott needs a fight I would love to see. Just making her way to ringside here, promoter Eddie Hearn, our reporter for this evening, Charlie Parsons, alongside Sky and Eddie. And we can hear from the Australian, who has a big smile on her face. Over to you, Charlie.
There'll be plenty of names called out, I'm telling you that, that's guaranteed. She'll be calling out everybody. And with a display like that and the confidence she showed, you can't blame her.
Exactly. Well, we can hear from Sky, who is with Charlie.
Well, Sky, congratulations, a return to the ring, down at £122. Just talk to me. The smile on your face says it all.
Yeah, it was good. It was a little sigh of relief, a little bit, obviously. It almost half felt like my debut tonight. Sky 2.0's debut anyway, but no, it was good. Good to get back in there and get back to winning ways.
It's been a turbulent time. We spoke a little bit about that in the build-up, something that you've never really had to experience as a professional. What have you learned from this whole process? And getting there, is that almost that big sigh of the relief, that weight off your shoulders?
Yeah, of course. There were so many lessons learned from my last outing, and I feel like a completely different person now, a completely different fighter, and that showed tonight, and I'm going to keep showing that.
Eddie, I was speaking to Sky earlier in the week, and she said, well, she can keep one eye on 126, but 122, we've seen there that little bit more pop, more power. Just in camp, you think we'll see that now down at 122?
Yeah, like she's had a great camp, and you know, we've been working on her stuff, different stuff, and she's been great. You know, like she'll fight anyone, 122 or 126.
Promoter Eddie Hearn, obviously it's been a different period, but down looking fantastic. What's the movement now? Is it have a few, or is it go straight into those big
I
clashes?
think another fight, a little step up from that. Obviously that's a step down from the level she's been fighting at. And when you do step down to that level, you've got to be getting them out of there quickly, which is exactly what she did. But sometimes when you rush through to the World Championship, you don't really get the ring time to work on that transition and work on what Eddie's been teaching in the gym. So you hear from Eddie Lamb and the team, she's hurting people in the spar, and she's throwing combinations. Tonight was really the first time you saw her sit down on her punches and throw 4 or 5 punch combinations in her whole professional career. She's going to be a huge super bantamweight at 122, and I think a phenomenal talent. We know that, but just this activity. Sometimes when you fight in World Championship fights, you just fight 3 times a year, and it's difficult to get in the flow to work on what you've been learning in the gym, in the ring. She did that tonight. Box ticked. Obviously the opposition's going to step up now as you go, but hopefully another one maybe in Australia, end of August, early September, something like that. And then a world title shot at the end of the year.
A big year ahead and then a world title shot. That's the plan. Keep active and keep that smile on your face.
100%. Can't wait. I can't wait to go again. Let's go.
Sky Nicholson, congratulations.
Yeah, a very impressive performance. You can see the smile on the face of Sky Nicholson. Eddie Hearn obviously pleased. And Shannon, what would you do if you was in charge of Sky Nicholson? Would you throw her straight in the deep end in some of these world title fights? Would you like her to test the waters a little bit more in this new division?
I think I would do one more and then chuck her in. I think she's ready. I think what she showed there was composure, intent in her punches. She was spiteful, and she was putting her punches together rather than single shots. So I think tonight we saw the new Sky Nicholson, and she's been calling herself 2.0, and I think that's what we saw tonight. So one more and chuck her back in.
Yeah, and I think, Barry, that's how you'd want to bounce back with a performance like that.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, like Eddie said, the opposition wasn't great, but when you're much better, you have to dominate, and she did, and she showed she can be aggressive but still smart. I think that's she was aggressive, and Shannon said how she's putting her punches together, not putting them together, how she was doing it with smoothness and authority at the end of the shots. I wouldn't wait. I don't think there's need to wait. I mean, she just fought for a world title. That's a warm-up fight. Put her straight back in. I think she's good enough. I mean, it's a hard weight division, and there might be a queue, I'm not quite sure, but I think she's good enough to challenge for world titles and give anyone a test.
Yeah, so much to look forward to. Certainly the career of Sky Nicholson down at super bantamweight. This is the card that we have for you this evening. A change of order. Leo Tang now opens his pro debut, opens the show. 7:30, Pat Brown stepping up against Lewis Oakford. Akad versus Alex Murphy. That kicked off at yesterday's weigh-in. Joe Cordina's back versus Jarrett Gonzalez. And there is the top of the bell. An incredible fight between Jack Catterall, Harlem Eubank, the WBA International and IBF Intercontinental welterweight titles. Well, we caught up with Jack Catterall, who is one half of tonight's main event.
Wednesday morning, 10:30, 11:15. So it's a big day today, it's a sparring day, so Shai's kindly come up from Essex to do some sparring. We've been using him for the last couple of weeks. Great work with him. So we're going to spar today, probably get 8 rounds out. We're going to refuel, get a coffee, and then we're going to track this afternoon. So Wednesday's a big day today.
I've done over 100 rounds with Harlem, so I know Harlem very well. Started my career with Adam Booth, so yeah, I know Harlem. And then obviously I've got a southpaw for my fight. so needed Jack as well. To be honest, he hasn't really asked me much. I think he's got a game plan. I think he's focused. More like I'm got a suitable style. Like I'm similar to Harlem, so it kind of benefits him. But not really asked me what he needs to do. He's just focused.
That's switched on now. Right, boys. Johnny, get the go. Everyone out now, please.
On the back of beating 3 former world champions, it's the challenge now of the unbeaten Arnold Barbosa Jr.
It was a tricky fight. I didn't lose the fight by a landslide. It was a real nip and tuck fight. There needed to be more urgency from myself, especially in the later rounds. I thought I was nicking the rounds in him there, but that wasn't enough, so there's no excuses on my side. I'm better than that. For the last couple of fights, it's always been get through this one, we're going to get the world title shot. And it felt like it's been a bit of a slog, although I'm very grateful to have had these fights, this run of fights. There was a lot of pressure, a lot of people talking about what was coming after Barbosa. It was frustrating, nobody wants to lose. I'm very competitive and I've had a great run over these last couple of years. I was kicking myself, but you've got to pick yourself up, surround yourself with the right people. But it's down to me now to prove it and go out there and ensure that I'm a level above that performance.
He's in redemption mode. I've never seen him like this before. He's got like this mindset I've never seen before because he's never been in this position before. He's sink or swim.
You can't take your foot off the gas. You've got to remain disciplined. I think some people, when they've moved up in weight, they think they take their eye off the ball a little bit too much. I want to be at 147, strong, prepared, with a good engine ready to go out there and perform. I'm of sound mind. I understand that back-to-back defeats, they ain't good for nobody. You can see a lot of careers go down the pan after back-to-back defeats. That being said, that's kind of the motivation to prepare well and go out there and secure a victory.
Well, that is Jack Catterall, one half of tonight's main event. It's a tricky one, this. And look, I've been speaking to quite a lot of people the last couple of weeks and trying to understand if they believe this is the breakthrough night for Harlem Eubank. What do you think, Barry?
I mean, it could be. This is I mean, he's had a good apprenticeship, Harlem Eubank, and he's done it. I mean, not behind closed doors, if you will, because some of his fights have been on the top of the bills, but in the shadows more than Jack. But he's a good and he's a hard fighter. For Jack, he has to know what he is, and I think he's an aggressive counter puncher. I think he can stalk you and force you to throw. But then when he does make you miss and make you pay, he's got to explode in that make you pay moment rather than just touch you. I mean, if he did that, he was more like that against Taylor in the first fight, and we saw how spiteful he was, how aggressive he could be, and how hurtful he could be with the punches. So when he's focused like that, he's almost impossible to beat. I think not quite, but almost. And I think the Barbosa defeat where he underperformed, I think as well. Again, but Barbosa boxed really well. Does not take that away. But he underperformed, I feel. I think if that's not the kick up the backside he needs to be on game, on point tonight, then he's never going to get there, unfortunately. Harlem Eubank's not the guy who's going to force the pace. He got quickness, which is very difficult to cope with, because he can accelerate with his punches. So when you got someone like Catterall who has brilliant timing, someone who has quickness who can go from 0 to 60 like that with their punches and spin round the target, it's very hard to control. So he has to stalk him and put him in the corners and force him his back on the rope. If he can do that, Catterall, then I think he can win and win well. If he can't, then finish it. This is my monologue.
I mean, I'm enjoying it.
If he can't, though, he might be chasing shadows and also be pinged around and start losing his shape.
How far away would the winner be from a world title shot, do you think?
Well, Catterall's arguably straight back in, right. I would think. And I think for Eubank, I mean, he could put him in, but probably one more would be asked of him, because Catterall is still coming off a defeat against Barbosa, who lost his last fight at world level. So you have to look at it like that, because Catterall has a name and also should have been the undisputed champion when he lost to Taylor the first time. Everyone thought he won. Then he's already sort of in the name around that division. So Eubank, it puts him in the right place. He could get an opportunity, but he might probably have to get one more. But it puts him on the way there.
Does the name help? He's been speaking about Eubank's supremacy since this fight was announced, and he wants to put his name amongst, the two Chris's. Does the name help catapult him into a big, meaningful world title shot?
It does, and I would argue he would deserve to, because he's had his career with that name not being a hindrance, not being a help like it has with Chris Jr. because Chris Senior was his dad. He's been a Eubank, but he's had to do a proper apprenticeship, so he's done it the hard way. With not that Eubank name to help him. Now that might help him elevate him, get more status, and certainly get more money and opportunity if he were to be Catterall to fight for a world title.
But it's a really intriguing main event. Jack Catterall, Harlem Eubank. But we're ready for our third fight on Before the Bell. So let's hand back over to David Diamante.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, the action continues with a special featherweight attraction. Now entering the arena, Mo Wacko.
Well, here is Mohamed Wacko, Ethiopian, now living in York. So basically, a home from home, Barry.
Unbelievable, isn't it? It really is.
Just the one win for Mohamed Wacko. 5 losses. Only stopped the once, though. He's had a big smile on his face all week, there's Mohamed Wacko. And he's entered the ring with one.
And now entering the arena, Alfie Spike Middlemiss.
Well, here is the young Alfie Middlemiss, 21-year-old, and as I say, Mohamed Wacko's had a smile on his face all week. So is this man here, loving every second of this, enjoying the ride, enjoying being in the gym with Jamie and the rest of the boys, buzzing off of the atmosphere that the gym's producing. We say it time and time again, success breeds success, and this young man wants to be a part of that. Developing nicely, ticks a lot of boxes, and as you can hear around this arena, a very popular young man.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, the action continues here on DAZN from Manchester with our next contest being brought to you courtesy of Mr. Eddie Hearn of Matchroom Boxing. We're sponsored tonight by Betfred, Drip, Riyadh Season, Tom Life Insurance, That Prize Guy, Victory Live, and Everlast. Introducing your third man in the ring at the sound of the bell, from Fleetwood, scoring A-star referee, Mr. Steve Gray. And now, ladies and gentlemen, 4 rounds of boxing scheduled in the featherweight division. Introducing first, fighting out of the red corner, he wears blue with pink trim. He scaled 9 stone, 1 pound, 3 ounces. This 6-fight veteran hails from York. Please welcome Mo Wacko. Wacko. And his opponent across the ring, fighting out of the blue corner. He wears black with purple trim. He scaled 9 stone, 1 pound, 5 ounces. His young professional record is perfect. 3 fights, 3 victories. Fighting out of Manchester, England, Alfie Spike Middlemiss. Middlemiss.
Okay, let's have a cold break. I expect you to take a step back. Don't deliberately throw punches around the back of the head. Protect yourselves at all times. Touch gloves. Good luck, lads.
Third contest here on the prelims. And the 4th contest for 21-year-old Alfie Middlemiss from right here in Manchester.
Round 1.
We've been impressed with what we've seen so far from Middlemiss, haven't we, Barry?
Yeah, for a young man, he's really nice. Like you say it all the time, don't we, with these young stars. They're all nice and composed. Well, let's just see it there. I was going to say that the feint he throws are really good. Not too fast, just enough to draw something out to your opponent. And he pushes punches together really well.
Really good personality. He understands what is required. Obviously, he needs to do the business in the ring, but he talks a very good fight. Very likeable. You can hear the support he has here developing nicely as well as a fighter. Jamie Moore, Nigel Travis, Dave Allen, seeing the corner there, along with Kerry Kays, managed by Sam Jones. So he's got everything there to really have a very good career, but there's a cut, Barry, above the left eye.
Good start for him.
So less than a minute in, he suffered a cut. Only a 4-rounder this as well, against Mohamed Wako, as I say, originally from Ethiopia, now in York.
But as long as it's not an awful cut, it's going to sound mad to say, it's not a bad thing, because it's how you cope with it. You know what I mean? You've got to almost like forget it's there. It's difficult to do, especially when you're young. If you can keep it composure, then that'll help you. Then you felt it before. When it happens in a more significant fight, you won't panic and lose your shape or do something silly.
I say Alfie Middlemiss is in good hands. So is Wako, Josh Warrington's dad, Maxie Hughes in the corner as well.
Lovely left hook to the body there from Middlemiss.
Yeah, it was a lovely shot. Very accurate, quick, nice jab to the body. It hasn't bothered him, hasn't troubled him, that cut, has it?
No, he haven't even dabbed at it, which is good. That little feint's lovely, isn't it? There it is.
Good. Doesn't really take the bait that much. He's looking to pour, though, with that lead hand.
I just think his feet are a little... I like a wide stance. I'm all for a wide stance, but I think his feet are a little bit too wide. Just means he can't know if he feints, he can't really explode into a combination because he's got to drag that back leg with him.
I remember being an amateur and doing the same thing and putting wraps, the coaches putting wraps around my feet so I couldn't widen them too much.
That's so you couldn't run up the gym.
Basically,
Howard.
yeah.
We all know that.
Wako trying to hold the centre of the ring. Nice jab again from Middlemiss.
It's a lovely feint again, goes to the body.
Yeah, I like that variation with the lead hand. He stabs that jab into the body, looking very composed.
He bends the legs, doesn't he, as well? He doesn't just lean down with the shot. He bends the legs so he's at the height to throw it straight.
Yeah, it's been a good opening round by the cut, which doesn't look too bad from our view here at ringside. But he's boxed nicely. Wako just trying to let a few shots go. Good opening round.
Hello, darlings. Aunt Helga. Futuristic scooters, old school website. Relax, web upgrades, I own them. Better design, e-commerce and smart AI. Now you're fit for the future. I scoot off now. Your digital partner, Ionos.
These highlights, just the cut here. Yeah, look, clash of heads there, accidental, just coming up from the shots. Mohamed Wako.
Seconds out.
Just seeing
Round
Kerry
2.
Kays going to work the cut. If there's anyone you want dealing with a cut, it's that man there.
It really is, yeah. You can save your career, can't it?
Ricky Hatton, Kerry Kays, we know how badly he could cut Hatton. But back to this one, second round, Middlemiss, Wako.
I think he needs to be, like, because of that, I think if he can start pushing Wako back with the jab a little bit more, there you go. I think that'll help a lot. And I mean, he has the ability and the timing just to sit back and let Wako walk up the shots. But I think, just again, Wako coming forward with that head might be a problem. So if you can push him back with the jab, I think that might keep you a little bit safer, but also busy and winning the fight.
You're a Coronation Street fan, Barry?
What's going on with this then?
Des Barnes is dad.
For England.
Outfit. Big Middlemiss. Philip Middlemiss. He's a budding actor himself. He's Alfie. Here and he's potentially starring in a film coming out soon, or a documentary or something. Keep your eyes peeled for that. But back to this one again. Nice jab. The variation with that lead hand has been very good.
Yeah, and he sort of stabs with that front foot, so there's enough weight in it. He hasn't got power yet. There's enough weight just to stop being trapped. I mean, but also with that, because he steps with the front foot, he can step back and put himself back in a safe place.
More bust for him as well. I say, in that gym. three of the other guys on there. Akifias, Pat Brown, and of course Jack Catterall, all on the cards. A busy night for Nigel.
He's full of experience in the gym as well, isn't he?
Yes, and Dave.
Dave's in the corner, Dave Allen in the corner, the guy's been around the block and having an Indian summer right now. He is, isn't he?
He really is.
I mean, Indian summer, he's only old, he's young.
Hoping to hear news soon regarding Dave Allen, I'm sure. Just holding centre of the ring now. Piercing out that jab again, Alfie middle miss.
Don't want to be there. See, that's what I was saying. Pushing it back keeps the punches long for you, because you'll step back and you double jab with that with the front hand there. That'll push him back. Then you throw the right hand at the end of it. Even if it's not a powerful shot, it'll force him to move back.
Yeah, he's doing the right thing though there. Wacko just gliding out of range, just trying to take this thing out of the shots. He's, however, going back in straight line, so expect middle miss to come forward and bring the feet in behind the shots.
He doesn't want to do that middle miss there. Throw that right hand wildly from too far out. Again, because you're bringing your head forward then, and your head, if you throw the right hand as well, you're going to be dipping, and right hand, your head's going to come low, and there's more chance of getting a clash of heads.
Last 10 seconds here in the second round. Out for middle miss, Mohamed Wacko finishing with a nice overhand right middle miss.
Ten seconds, corners.
Yeah, the arena
Seconds
starting
out.
to really fill now.
Round three.
After middle miss, sold bundles of tickets. Very well supported here. Hometown of Manchester. Boxing nicely. He's in fight it though. Mohamed Wacko, he fancies this. It's the odd shot go every now and again. It'll be dangerous with the left hook. Middle miss with the quicker hands, the know-how, setting everything up at the jab. And boxing nicely, it's very composed. Done a good job of that cut. Haven't quite been able to see how bad the gash is. We see in the break after the first round, it was a clash of heads. Bruno Hagen and, as I say, Maxi Hughes in the corner of Mohamed Wacko. To get their charge going, trying to get him into some momentum.
Again, he's trying to push him back, but see, people think when you push him back, you've got to get close and be physical, and you don't have to. That's better. That jab's a lovely weapon that he has. And he punches really clean and neat. Just do that.
As I say, Wacko has been beaten 5 times. 4 of those 5 losses all come from unbeaten fighters. Last time out against Shorty's 4-0, Corey Scott. Looking for a right uppercut there, Wacko, and again misses with the second one and just misses with the left hook. He's letting his shots go, but that's a lovely left to the body. Follows it up with another one. Does out in middle miss. Starting to go through the gears, Barry.
Yeah, he threw an uppercut just before he landed with that left hook to the body as well, which was a lovely shot. Like I say, I wouldn't advise him to be there because of, again with the cut, but still putting his punches together well and looking to be aggressive.
Yeah, and that jab again to the body, a very good shot.
See what, that cut held it really well, hasn't it?
It's the magic of Kerry Cage again, I'm sure. A bit more aggressive.
Can't say magic's a banned substance.
Magic. the magic sponge.
Nice little welt underneath the eye there as well.
Yeah, just under the right eye. Middle miss. So be careful, Wacko. He's letting his shots go. Fair play to the Ethiopian, but it does offer openings for middle miss. Good work to the body again.
He's trying to fire back here, Jacko. He's not really having much success with the accuracy, but...
Did you just call him Jacko?
No, Wacko, I said. I did say Jacko.
Just getting pushed back is Mohamed Wacko Jacko from Alfie Middle Miss. Yeah, that's good footwork from Middle Miss, the way he just spun off back to the centre of the ring, and that left to the body, a very good shot from the youngster from here in Manchester, finishing the round really, really well. Good work. Yeah, just the left arm there. Kerry Kay is just obstructing our view. Let's have a look at this work from both in that round.
Oh, it's a lovely body shot there from Middle Miss, and the left took the finish as well. Nothing bothered him, Wacko, to be fair. He takes a good shot, and coming back with that body shot there, made him just dip the elbow a little bit, but looking to fire back. And I think, you know, because he's trying to be a bit more assertive here, Middle Miss, he's making it a bit more of an enjoyable spectacle. But I would say that he doesn't need to do this. I mean, so he's winning, he's not in no jeopardy at all, but I mean, he could have won this easily on the jab, moving around and using what he has, those beautiful skills and that great timing that he has.
Yeah.
But he wants to show a different side of his game.
For the fourth and final round.
Final round here, third contest on the prelims show. Alfie Middle Miss, Mohamed Wacko. Yeah, as you say, Barry, he's got stuck in, he's let his shots go, he's stood in the pocket at times, and it's made for good entertainment. But yet to get stoppage yet, Alfie Middle Miss, but still only 21, still maturing, plenty of time, and you can see the way he puts his shots together, the hurtful onslaught to the body. I'm sure it won't be long until he starts getting that first notch on his record.
Yeah, a good shot, yeah. You see the way he's starting to take the shots already, isn't he? So the technique's there, just a little bit more turning into the shots and a little bit more just man strength maybe. We'll see an improvement in that.
Yeah, but the variation, very good. The jab has been on point, as you say, varying that shot to the body really, really well. Back upstairs.
And he wants to show you can be busy. I think he wants you know, sometimes when you're labelled as one thing, you want to show you can do something else. I mean, I don't think it's tactically the right thing for him to do. I mean, you can try what he wants to. It's a fight that he almost can't lose. But, you know, he's picking up facial damage then he didn't need to.
The damage under the right eye is starting to worsen now. Spitting out some blood as well. Middle Miss.
It's nice there. He used his eyes there, lovely there. Look to the body, jab to the head there, Middle Miss.
Yeah, that was a good overhand right. Sort of stumbled there for a second, Wacko. Nice left to the body again. That's been a very impressive shot. Looks for the shot again, tucks up, well does Wacko. But starting to go through the gears here. Nice little slip to the right as well from Middle Miss. The crowd are enjoying this spell.
And he's staying nice and neat with his defence here, Middle Miss, and he's allowing Wacko to throw the shots wild around the sides, and he can just punch through the middle.
Good tempo to the work. Look, it is only 4 rounds, but he's finishing this contest strongly. Middle Miss, minutes ago.
Finger again there, a little look down to the body.
Yeah, there's a lot of thought, isn't there, in the work from Middle Miss.
Got some real cute moves, hasn't he?
So he's been doing a bit of sparring with Jack Catterall. The build up to this one, so he'll be learning bundles from the likes of Jack. Oh, what a shot. Yeah, lovely shot to the body again, and varying up the attack to the body with the right hand. Nice little skip to the right. We like that one, Barry. And he's got Wacko under the cosh here, moving back, gamely coming back with that left to the body again. 20 seconds in the final round here for Wacko to survive. As I say that, the Ethiopian comes back with 4 shots of his own. Deep breaths as well. It's been a good contest. That left to the body again. A sickening blow, just putting his feet in as well. Really good 4-round contest in the featherweight division there. Alfie Middle Miss will get the win. Mohamed Wacko can be proud of himself, just leaning on the ropes there. A good contest that, Barry. Good learning fight that.
Really good last round, fun to watch. It was fun to watch, and I think, you know, I think Middle Miss wanted a bit of that. Sometimes you want to be in a fun fight, and he was in a fun fight. And maybe when he gets a bit more man strength, what he tried to do there will be really, really productive. Just blocking and rolling and punch, keeping your shape so you can punch inside your body frame and you can land the right shot, the uppercut through the middle, the left hook to the body. He's placing it there, but if you can start whipping it or digging it in, that's going to be a really good weapon for him. But you've got to be thinking what the damage you're coming away with facially. It's not life-threatening. It's not going to ruin his career. But I mean, it could change the fight for you. So you've got to stick to your strengths. But it's nice to see a different side of his game, and I thought that was good to watch.
Well, let's hope that cut's not too bad, so we can get out again soon. But let's hand it over to David Diamante.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 4 rounds here in Manchester, we go to referee Steve Gray's scorecard. It reads 40-36 for your winner. He's still undefeated, Alfie Middlemiss.
Yeah, Alfie Middlemiss moves to 4-0 as a pro. The well-supported local Mancunian. Big smile on his face. He has all week. Mohamed Wacko just leaving the ring. He can be proud of himself. I'm sure he'll be busy in the future. And that'll be the plan for Alfie Middlemiss. Hopefully that cut, as I say, is not too bad, so we can get back out and keep this die-hard fan base of his happy. Smiles all round. Dave Allen, Sam Jones, Nigel Travis, Jamie Moore, Kerry Kayes. What a team that is. Alfie Middlemiss just making his way ringside here to have an interview with Charlie Parsons. Again, ear to ear smile from the victor. Just trying to look at that cut, doesn't look too bad. Sam Jones just taking a look as well. So Alfie Middlemiss moves to 4-0. Charlie Parsons is with Alfie Middlemiss, Jamie Moore and Sam Jones. Charlie, over to you.
Well, thank you, Darren. Alfie, congratulations. The smile on your face, I think it showed in the performance. The punch selection was perfect. Crowd were fantastic in here as well. Initial reaction to that one in there.
Do you know what? I'd just like to say a massive thank you to everyone who's come out to support me. I couldn't do what I do without you all. Manchester boxing's booming at the moment. There's so many young stars coming through. You see it throughout this card, and I believe I can be one of them ones at the top to go and headline shows in the future. And yeah, with these behind me, anything's possible.
Jamie, he's been around stars his whole life. He's in a gym full of stars, but you've said to me all week you've just loved training him, the banter that you have off the back of him. I suppose you need that in the gym that you guys have got, but the perfect professional as well?
Absolutely. He's come from our amateur club. He's the first one to turn professional. He's a model professional, consummate professional, does everything asked of him, and he's well on his way. You can see he's starting to go through the gears a little bit more now. As he develops and matures a bit more, he's going to start carrying a bit more power, and the sky's the limit for him.
Alfie, just quickly, I suppose moving forward now, like you say, you're young, there's time to develop, but is that the process? Do you kind of envision the next couple of years as to just enjoy it, get out, enjoy getting all these fans in and just keep staying active? A happy fighter's a dangerous fighter, right?
Exactly, that activity is key. I want to keep fighting, keep improving. I'm always in the gym and surrounded by top people, They've done so much for me and I'm learning all the time, so sky's the limit, like Jamie said, and I'm excited for the next one.
Sam, I'll bring you in very quickly here. He's always got a smile on his face, like we were saying, but he's a really, really good boxer as well. Acting, getting punched in the face, I know what one I prefer, but he's brilliant, right? And that's the sort of fighter that you sell.
He's a fantastic actor, but he's an even better fighter. And it's time Eddie put a bit of a pen to paper for him and got him a contract. Brilliant crowd. Thank you very much for coming, guys. Brilliant.
Let's get him that contract indeed. Alfie, congratulations on a great performance.
Thank you very much.
Sam Jones, Jamie Moore, and the victor himself, Alfie Middlemiss. And this is what we've seen already on Before the Bell. Noel Brown stopping Victor Ionescu, Sky Nicholson getting the job done versus Carla Gonzalez. Alfie Middlemiss, as we've just seen, beating Mohamed Wacko. And up next, William Crawler versus Fraser Wilkinson. We are ready for our final contest on Before the Bell. So let's hand back over to David.
Ladies and gentlemen, the next contest, 8 rounds in the super welterweight division. Now making his way to the ring from Aberdeen, Scotland. Please welcome Fraser Wilkinson.
And here is Aberdeen's very own Fraser Wilkinson, 24-year-old. 11 wins, just the 2 losses. See him in a couple of very good fights against Corey McCulloch. Really had a go, got really stuck in. Can box, can move, and he does have that bit between his teeth, which makes him very exciting.
And now entering the arena, the undefeated, hard-hitting Mancunian, William Corolla.
Manchester's very own William Corolla, brother of Manchester legend Anthony Corolla, who gave us some very, very special nights in this arena, in his corner, of course. William, so exciting to watch and really making a strong, strong name for himself. A tricky contest last time out against Emmanuel Zion. He got the nod over 6 rounds, and a fight in which he says he learnt bundles from. Before that, it was 6 straight stoppages. But learning an awful lot, but one thing's for sure, he's been very impressive when he puts his shots together. He's a joy to watch.
Ladies and gentlemen, from Manchester, England, live on DAZN, it's now time for a special super welterweight attraction. It's all being brought to you courtesy of Mr. Eddie Hearn of Matchroom Boxing. Sponsored by Betfred, Drip, Riyadh Season, That Prize Guy, Tom Life Insurance, Victory Live, and Everlast. Introducing your third man in the ring at the sound of the bell, from Barry, A-star scoring referee, John Latham. And now, ladies and gentlemen, 8 rounds of boxing scheduled in the super welterweight division. Introducing first, fighting out of the red corner, he wears red trunks with white trim. He scaled 11 stone, 6 pounds, bang on. Professional record, 11 victories, 2 defeats, with 2 wins coming by way of knockout. Fighting out of Aberdeen, Scotland, ladies and gentlemen, Fraser Wilkinson. And his opponent across the ring, fighting out of the blue corner. He wears the blue with silver trim. He scaled 11 stone, 1 pound, 7 ounces. Professional record, perfect. 8 fights, 8 victories, with 6 of his 8 wins coming by way of knockout. Fighting out of Manchester, England, ladies and gentlemen, the undefeated, hard-hitting William Corolla.
Right, lads, you're expecting you both. You obey the instructions at all times. When I tell you to break, you both break clean. Defend yourselves at all times. Touch gloves.
Final fight here on the prelims. And the first 8-rounder for local super welterweight William Corolla. In with Aberdeen's Fraser Wilkinson.
Wow.
And it was, as I say, a real learning fight for Corolla last time out, Barry, against Emmanuel Zion.
No, it really was, and the fight he needs as well, I think, for his development. I think it's important here for Crawler. I think he has to put it on, the pressure on Wilkinson early. Wilkinson got good feet. I think his hand speed's quite decent as well, so I think it's very much important for you to put pressure on him early, just to make him rush his work a little bit.
He looks big in there, Crawler. I thought he looked big on the scouts yesterday. Switches, we've already seen him starting to fight southpaw. You see it there, just going back to the southpaw stance and punches heavy with both hands. Really does, just stabbing the jab into the body. Fraser Wilkinson just looking for a couple of shots upstairs.
Jab from Wilkinson.
Yeah, it was. Needs to get that chin down, but as I say, he can box, he can keep it long, but he's not afraid to get stuck in and let his hands go.
But what Wilkinson's got to try and do, and it takes a little bit of bravery for this, is because Crawler commits to every punch. You've got it. If you can make him miss by a little bit, make him pay straight away. Just make him think before he throws. That'll slow Crawler down considerably enough for you to get your work together.
Nice start from Wilkinson. He looks unfazed, doesn't he, from the challenge of William Crawler. He's the more experienced out of the two.
Crawler came out southpaw, orthodox southpaw back again. Just got to be careful switching too much, because you can't build any momentum in your attacks, because you're always looking to switch around.
Yeah. Always that danger when you come in square on, when you do change from either stance. But I tell you what, the jab from Wilkinson has been sharp and accurate, putting the shots together nicely there.
I was saying one at the start of the round, I think Crawler's got to really put concerted pressure on him, make him feel the power early, so I think Wilkinson just not getting into his rhythm. Right now, Wilkinson's boxing really well here.
As I say, Wilkinson, one of his defeats was to Corey McCulloch. A real shootout with McCulloch. He dropped him and dropped himself. As I say, he's not afraid to get stuck in. Let his hands go there, quick hands. He's going to be made to work here, Crawler.
Good there from Crawler though.
6 stoppages in a row before that points win last time out against Zion. Having everything his own way. So the fight like that last time, this one here, as you can see already, is going to be made to work. Exactly what you need in your development, Barry.
Yeah, but it's good from Wilkinson here though. Again, he's fighting, throwing off the punches here of Crawler. Crawler's the heavier hand, there'll be more accuracy in the work here from Wilkinson.
Yeah, and the footwork's good. That was a good left hand from Crawler, but the feet, as I say, bringing them in nicely here behind the shots. Moves out of range nicely to avoid the shots coming his way. He's letting Crawler know he's in this fight and he's coming to win.
Don't get the jab, Will, but don't step out behind, come out low, yeah?
Crawler there, Crawler giving instructions to William.
Downstairs now, okay?
See, Darren, these fights are certainly for Crawler. This is a fight you can lose, by the way. I mean, these are fights where you have to use your brain. It's not all about just brute strength or power that's going to get you through, which might be the deciding factor at the end of the day. But what it is about using your brain. Wilkinson's giving the things he has to think, so he's not just I can just intimidate him and bully him. Wilkinson's not he's not discouraged to throw back when he takes a shot. He's willing to block and counter. So you've got to start being a little smarter with your work, thinking on your feet, we call it. And I think that's the thing you need to develop.
Round 2. Into the second round we go, and I was just looking at Wilkinson in his corner, responding well to the instructions, big smile on his face, eager to get up in this second round, and he's working nicely again behind the jab.
See, every time Crawler throws, he throws as well. Watch out, Crawler goes to throw that right hand, he throws almost not with him, straight after him.
And he just sit in the pocket as well. Wilkinson just vary the work. His hands nice and high, Will Crawler.
But you got to get the roll, either dip side to side in a diagonal, or roll when you're coming forward. His hands high, he's walking on the shots here.
That was good, but it was a nice right to the body from Crawler. That back came Wilkinson with a nice flurry of shots. This is better from Crawler. The nose of Wilkinson bloodied. Really starting to plant his feet and let the hands go heavy, Barry.
He is, yeah, and that's good, but again, walking on too many punches to get there here, Crawler. Again, that head movement needs to be a little bit more, slipping forward. That's good from Wilkinson, lovely uppercut.
Yeah, just slipped on the outside, didn't he, of that southpaw jab, just grazing the target with that shot. Crawler looking for a left over there. The southpaw jab of Wilkinson. Starting to heat up nicely here, really starting to impose that strength, that physical strength, Crawler.
Yeah, but again, I still think Wilkinson's boxing really well here under pressure.
Yeah, puts his shots together nicely, doesn't he? The Scot moving his feet out of range nicely, just avoiding that left coming his way from Crawler. Just doing the right thing as well there. Wilkinson just tying up Crawler after he landed a couple of shots. Gets into his shell nicely, doesn't he, Crawler? Really arcs that back. Oh, that was a good right hand from Crawler. Brought the feet in.
Switched then for no reason at all. I think that just took away his momentum there, Crawler. He landed a lovely right hand. He needed to stay in the same orthodox stance there to get another shot into play.
Nice little shot to the body from Wilkinson as Crawler was coming forward. Again, tucking up nicely, Crawler. Taking the shots on the glove, but it's good work again from Wilkinson.
Nice little short right hook there from Wilkinson, wasn't it?
And then back comes Crawler though with a straight right, but that was a nice left hand from Wilkinson, just rocking the head back of Crawler.
Oh, that's a good left hand there from Wilkinson.
Oh, good work, just backing Crawler onto the ropes.
That's a good fight there. It's interesting.
It's heating up nicely. Plenty to think about for William Crawler. Anthony Crawler in the corner.
Just even though the camera's on Crawler's corner here, I'm looking at Wilkinson in the corner, and except for the cotton wool up his nose, he's looking quite fresh here. But there's a lovely right hand there from Crawler. Just switched stance a little bit. I don't think there's any need for that. But he had a lot of success there. Crawler lands the heavier shots. But I still thought he took a lot of shots coming forward. Wilkinson wasn't deterred or put under too much pressure, but he didn't know what to do. He kept his shape, and he landed some good shots of his own. Doesn't carry the same weight of shot as Crawler, but still good scoring shots.
Yeah, I'd say the physical strength and the power lies with William Crawler, but very good boxer Wilkinson on the back foot, can mix it up. Yeah, this contest heating up nicely. Into the third round we go. William Crawler looking to target the body straight away. Tucking up, taking the shots on the gloves. A bit more head movement required, I think, from William Crawler, but
well, even just the body, so you can dip you haven't got to move your head. You can dip your legs and do a U shape as you come forward.
He's always looking to counter Wilkinson. First and third almost, he'll lead and avoid the shot coming back. And you just see they just miss him with the right hand, Crawler, and then back comes Wilkinson with a jab.
What Crawler's doing, he's so pent up on one to land with a big shot. You can see how tense he is. That he's waiting too long, let his hands go, and that's allowing Wilkinson there just a flurry. Even though they're not heavy shots, they're scoring punches, and he's catching Crawler coming in.
Fraser Wilkinson, he won his last fight against Jordan Granham on every round of the slated 6. Good work there, taking on the gloves though from Crawler, but a nice 1-2 nonetheless.
Oh, trying to walk him onto an uppercut there, Wilkinson. Both landing good shots there.
Yeah, both exchanging blows. A lot of damage to the nose of Wilkinson. There's some blood around the face, but I think it is coming from that nose. Hopefully there's no cuts. There's better head movement from William Crawler there, just slipping on the inside. Both exchanging shots again.
Oh, it's lovely feet from Wilkinson. It's a little half a step back and a jab to follow.
That was a good jab, double jab from Crawler. Looking for the left hand, but back comes Wilkinson with a nice counter left hand of his own.
See, he's looking sharp here, Wilkinson. And he'll take a few heavy shots, but I think took a left hook there though.
Yeah, looking to slip inside as well and throw that left to the body or screw it up as an uppercut.
See, Wilkinson doesn't need to push forward. I mean, he's not running, and that's good, but he's got to use Crawler's aggression against him. A little step back, and there you go.
Really starting to turn the shots. In now, Crawler. Really turning the waist into the shots, but using the feet nicely.
Yeah, and double jabbing his way in. That's like the 4th time he's been caught low there, Crawler.
Referee just having a word with Wilkinson, keep the shots up.
Nice from Wilkinson.
Yeah, back comes the Scot. A 1-2, steps in, another 1-2.
What did he say for those straight shots, isn't it?
Yeah, another good round here in Manchester, the AO Arena. A good contest heating up between these two. William Crawler, as you can see, in shot versus Scotland's Fraser Wilkinson. And this is where it all goes down this evening, 7:30, live on DAZN, your global home of boxing. Plenty taking their seats already. Promises to be a cracking evening. So much to look forward to. The main event's a crack over it. We've got the, as Eddie Hearn's calling him, the future Anthony Joshua pro debut of Leo Atang.
There's no pressure there.
Joe Cordina, someone you know very well, Barry, in with tough Mexican puncher, Jarrett Gonzalez.
Yeah, it's a perfect fight to come back from, isn't it? An unknown Mexican.
And the record would suggest a heavy-handed Mexican. Back to this one here. William Crawler, Fraser Wilkinson, heating up nicely. Well matched, these two. Good feint from Wilkinson to start the round. Looking for that straight right to the body. Favouring the orthodox stance, as I said, that switches straight back to southpaw.
Crawler he keeps taking a step back. Crawler, after he does a bit of work, whether he has success or not, he takes that step back, which you'd normally say, okay, yeah, that's good there, you're regrouping, you're coming back again. But you just got to get low, just dip your legs and go back again. Don't take that step back. Avoid the attack by just dipping your legs.
Yeah, that was a better counter, left hand from Crawler, took a step back, half a step back and through the shot. It was good, but good work on the back foot though from Wilkinson, but he lands another one, Crawler.
Good left hand there through the pipe as well there from Wilkinson, and a right hand jab.
Yeah, good jab, lead southpaw jab from Fraser Wilkinson. And he's just somehow at times just managing to nullify the shots coming his way from Crawler. He'll tie him up, he'll slip on the outside and use his feet intelligently as he does there.
Right, boxing well here.
Tucking up nicely, but good work though from Wilkinson.
He span on the target there. Put his hands up before he let the punches go as well.
Into the second half of this round. Minute and 20 to go. He's moving freely, boxing nicely, Wilkinson. Good work on the back foot. He moves back to centre ring. Jab upstairs, left to the body.
He's controlling this at the minute here, Wilkinson.
What does Crawler need to do more of for you here, Barry?
Stop loading up and get a little bit of speed and fluency in your work, and don't step back. I mean, you haven't got to walk on the shots like this. You've got to move your head, things you haven't been doing all night. But then when you get close, dip your legs and then get back up and work again.
50 seconds ago, but it's been a very good round for Wilkinson so far. As you say, controlling it nicely, moving nicely. Variation in the work.
But Darren, you know, walking forward is not pressure. It's walking on the punches potentially. And even though he's landed some good shots, Colin, he has. The most of the work, certainly in this round, has come from Wilkinson. He's starting to push Crawler back here. But this is what makes you a fighter, though, isn't it?
Yeah, it does.
I mean, they come back, adapt. Good shot there from Wilkinson.
And he looks strong now, Wilkinson. He looks the physically stronger out the two, just pushing William Crawler back, who lands a nice left hand. That was better. It was sharp. It was quick.
Yeah, but he's loading up though, and I worry about the fitness. When you load up, you tire out quicker, and especially when you start missing and you're losing ideas. Just here, the fluency in the work here, the Wilkinson nice and sharp. Waiting for Collar to come forward. A big heavy right hand there from Collar, but for the most part, Wilkinson will be able to ride these shots quite well or absorb them quite well, and he's been the one who's been a little bit sharper off the mark here for me. Certainly in that last round and throughout the fight, I would dare to say.
If I look at the two in the corners here, Barry, as we're watching these replays, look at the big, deep breaths from William Crawler. In reply in the red corner, barely breathing is Wilkinson.
I know when people say, you say the youngsters, you got speed, so stop trying to punch so fast because you've got natural speed, or you got power, stop trying to load up and try and hit too hard. You don't need to, you got power, just let it flow. That's the problem with Crawler here. He's trying too hard to be too physical. You're physical anyway, you hit hard anyway. You only do is you waste a lot of energy here, and also maybe being a little bit readable with that because you're just so set on trying to just walk right through him.
And looking to work the jab at the start of this 5th round, Crawler.
Shot there from Wilkinson.
It was a good counter, wasn't it? Long right hook just over the jab of William Crawler.
Lovely shot.
Good work, straight shots from Wilkinson and drop into the body. This is really good work from the Scot.
So these are hard fights for someone like Crawler when you're young, and because you've got to change the pattern of the fight here, and it's very difficult to do at any level. But when you have no experience to draw from, how do you do it? Like he's gonna potentially make it worse for him. He's gonna do what he's gonna continue to do, and really double down on what hasn't been working for him.
Another nice couple of jabs there from Wilkinson. A bit of the snap seems to have left the shots of Crawler. Just missing with a double jab there, looking for the right to the body, does land the shot. But again, moving freely, nicely, just lent out of range there, just took a shot, but generally before that, it was good work, Barry.
And you can see because Crawler's slowed down, Wilkinson is starting on the ball to the feet a bit more. So he's lighter with his shots and he's lighter with his feet, but the movement looks much better. If you could have done that in the early 2 rounds, then Crawler can walk through him. He held his feet enough to be a little bit more of a physical presence, but now, lighter on his feet and boxing better for it.
Yeah, good footwork again from Wilkinson, just moving around the middle of the ring. On the left hand, he's hurt Crawler. He's unsteady on the feet, and he's down. William Crawler down against Fraser Wilkinson here in the 5th round of this contest. Still plenty of time left in this round. Just the 2 stoppage victories from Wilkinson on his career, but he's hurt Crawler, but back comes Crawler with a shot of his own.
There's a temple shot, wasn't it, there with the right hand, the left hand, sorry, there from Wilkinson.
Oh, he looks really unsteady still, Crawler.
He's knackered, that's why as well.
He is exhausted in there. And this is first 8 rounder, as we say. Good work, straight 1-2 down the pipe. Mouth wide open from Crawler. A nice left hand over the top from Wilkinson.
He's picking his shots lovely here, Wilkinson, really is. Body shots, that left hand right down, straight down the middle.
There's a cut, I think, to the left eye of Wilkinson. But back comes the Scot, landing a big lead right hook. On the top of the head of Crawler. Worrying signs for the local man, William Crawler. Lots to do for brother Anthony in that corner.
You're in deep. Listen, you started having success and you hurt him after you got knocked down, but Will, how it's going to come.
That's a lovely left hand there. I think it's just on top of the temple, I think. Scrambled the center of the Crawler. Tried to stay, he should have gone down on the knee actually, but tried his bravery to stay up. Just see it there, didn't see it, went around the back of the glove, all over the place there, trying to stay out of the way, but Wilkinson was on him, accurate as ever, and a little scuffing shot to put him on the floor. Then Crawler got up too quick, too early, but Wilkinson kept his composure.
He did, he showed plenty of bravery there though, William Crawler. He was down, he did jump up quickly, but that was a really, really good onslaught that from Wilkinson.
And he was looking right at his brother, and his brother was saying, stay on your knee, and he didn't listen, he got up. And that's just youth and
inexperience.
Yeah. And pride as well. But Wilkinson is boxing absolutely beautiful right now.
Yeah, he's been on point, he really has. You're right, Barry, he's boxed nicely. That lead hand's been very good. The straight shots, variation as a whole, but the defensive know-how from Wilkinson has been impressive. Feet, head.
Tactically, isn't it? That's the word, isn't it? Tactically, absolutely fantastic. Really has.
Yeah, look, he just takes that half a step back, fires in a 1-2. Again, the difference in the two when it comes to breathing night and day. Really feeling the pace, William Crolla. Oh, good 1-2 though from William Crolla. He took that one well, Wilkinson.
He took it really well, didn't he? He still looks fresh here, Wilkinson, as well. That's the worry here for Crolla.
Exchanging shots there. It was a nice right hook from Wilkinson, but a right hand as well from Crolla. Good work from the Scot again on the back foot, moving back to centre. Oh, it's a lovely left hand. He's hurt William Crolla. The legs are unsteady. It was a left hand again. The referee's jumped in, and William Crolla loses for the first time. What a win for Fraser Wilkinson, Barry.
Unbelievable win. Away from home, the way he boxed Wilkinson there with so much composure throughout the night, even when Crolla was fresh in the early rounds, trying to be the physical, not I was going to say bully, but the presence, use his attributes, his strength and his power. And he tried, but Wilkinson stayed calm, picked his shots, wasn't afraid to throw with Crolla. They were block and countered as well. And as Crolla started to show a little bit of fatigue, Wilkinson started to use that speed on the balls of his feet, rattling off combinations, and that left hand for the knockdown in the last round, and the one that scrambled the senses there for Crolla were fantastic.
What a win for Fraser Wilkinson. The 12th win for the Scot, just the third stoppage, but showed us an awful lot there. You can see what it means to the young man, only 24.
We've all been raving about William Crolla, and rightly so, because he's been fantastic so far in his career. He's been a really, really good development fighter, and I'm sure he still will be. But, you know, I mean, just experience, the composure, and the boxing ability here at Wilkinson was just fantastic.
Look at the work here in the closing seconds from Wilkinson, Barry.
Yeah, I understand why Crolla's annoyed, because I don't think he was felt that he wasn't hurt, but he's been hit with that shot before when he'd been put down. It's still fresh in the next round. He's been caught. He's not firing back, and you can argue that it was a little bit too soon, but also he's taking into account a fatigued fighter who's been hurt in the last round, got hurt and wobbled there, though he didn't go down, and he's added all that up and thought, if you're not firing back, then I have to call it off.
What a win, and it was a good scrap as well. One they can both be proud of, but Wilkinson gets the win. Let's hand over to David.
Ladies and gentlemen, referee John Latham calls a halt to this contest. The official time of the stoppage, 1 minute, 7 seconds of round number 6. Declaring your winner by TKO, Fraser Wilkinson.
Yeah, Fraser Wilkinson gets the 12th win of his career. Very, very good performance. Showed us a bit of everything. William Crolla just shaking his head as he leaves the ring. Plenty to work on for William Crolla, but look at this team, the smiles for this man. That's how you announce yourself on the big stage. Fraser Wilkinson.
But you know what it's like. Like you know, when you've been having the fight, you know, on small shows, out of the way of the big TV camera, the big occasion, and you get the opportunity as the B-side. I mean, I know exactly what it's like. You get the opportunity on the B-side and you get that win and you think you've made it. I mean, his career's still ahead of him. You think you've made it now. You know, like you beat a guy who everyone's touting to be this next big thing, and you've taken his mantle. So, and he boxed so well. He boxed, Darren, he was really good. Composed with it, didn't panic under pressure, picked his shots well. And he could feel the weight and the pressure. And once he felt the weight of the shot starting to wane, he wasn't physical. He was smart, tactically really good, but he got lighter with the punches, used more speed, and made Crolla tire quicker.
Yeah, brilliant performance. Fraser Wilkinson is ringside with our reporter, Charlie Parsons. Charlie, over to you.
Thank you, Darren. Cheers. Fraser, they say boxing changed his lives, and tonight you may well have just done that. Talk me through that performance. Fantastic from minute one.
Just training hard in the gym 24/7. I've got a couple of losses. I fought for British title eliminators and I probably shouldn't have, but I took the experience, I took chances, and David just walked me through it step by step tonight. Did exactly what he said, and that's what it produced.
Early on we saw Will Crolla coming out, throwing really thunderous punches, but it seemed like quite early on you'd kind of sussed it out, the movement was right, just being in there. Did it kind of line up quite early doors?
Yeah, exactly. We've been sparring light heavyweights the whole camp because we knew William started fast. A lot of amateurs, to be honest with you, all the boys in the gym. We just stuck to the game plan. I knew I had to be tight. I knew I had to be sharp with the counters. And that's what I produced again.
What does this mean to you? I see some of your fans up there in the crowd who are making a real big noise there.
You know, it's good. I've been selling tickets for over 4 years now, struggling. David's been a big hand, you know what I mean? Like, sometimes I went and sold 100 tickets for a show, good opponent. The next one, I can't get, my best mates aren't coming because they've got events and they've got weddings and etc. So, big credit to David and my manager Sam and Big Coco over there, but I'm going down to 147 and I'm ready for anyone.
Taking the opportunities, he was saying that you were sparring like heavyweights in the camp. You knew that Will Crawler was going to come out as he did. Was that almost as you guys expected in there?
Exactly. We knew we had to keep him in the first couple of rounds, not get caught with anything stupid, and then push your pace. And he did everything he was asked to do, and I can't be prouder.
Fraser, congratulations. Final message to your fans in here and at home.
Let's go Scotland!
Well done, mate.
Well done.
Well, exactly what they expected from coach and fighter, and what a win that was for Fraser Wilkinson. So much to look forward to this evening, and here is the card, the pro debut of, as Eddie says, the future Anthony Joshua, Leo Atang, Pat Brown, Lewis Oakford. That's a step up for Pat Brown. Akinfenwa as Alex Murphy. As I say, that kicked off at yesterday's weigh-in. Joe Cordina up at lightweight versus